you so much for those kind and rather generous words. First of all, congratulations to all of you, especially to Seta, for this wonderful venture called Be Bold and Confident. What more do you require in life than be bold and confident about what you do? Especially in today's age and era, when there is a lot of influence and a lot of information that's available freely all around us. Students especially are often left at sea as to what to choose and how to choose and which is the path to choose. So I think a club like this is definitely going to be a great asset to everybody who's associated with CET. So when Asha Chechi actually called me up and asked me to be the keynote speaker here, I think the first thing I asked myself was, what has helped me be bold and confident at times when it's required? Now, if you ask me, have I been bold and confident all through my life? The straight answer is definitely no. Like everybody else, I have had my own ups and downs in my life. And to be able to pick myself up from the ashes is definitely a skill that life has been teaching me and probably teaching everybody else who is listening to this as well. So when I looked around in my room, I found this old poster, a rather crudely handwritten doodle of mine, which was stuck to the wall in my study room, which says a very famous phrase, a Latin phrase, which all of you would know. When I say Latin, I'm sure you would guess what the phrase is. It is carpe diem, right? Seize the day. So, that is probably one phrase or a couple of words which is actually stuck to my head and probably to my vision as it overlooks my study table at my home, which has helped me actually realize that each day is something which is precious and each moment is precious, which ought to be used, which ought to be treated as a gift indeed. I know this is age-old wisdom, but I thought I should share with you what I have gone through in my life, and hence this is the beginning. So when I was studying for civil services, as was mentioned in the introduction, I was not one of those persons who could, jump the fence the first time. So it took a couple of attempts or more for me to actually reach the destination that I had set for myself. And every day I would look at this poster. I would tell myself, yes, this is your opportunity to seize the day, for this day is not going to come back to you. And it is probably that thought which was ingrained in my mind, which was ingrained in my psyche, that actually helped me be bold and confident throughout that journey. But as you might know, it's a rather long and arduous journey. It's not an exam which requires you to be up in your spirits and be the best of yourself for a single day or a couple of days or not even for a week. It takes almost a year for one to just finish the exams through the different stages. And that precisely taught me that it's important to ensure that one stays motivated by oneself. And this whole idea of intrinsic motivation probably slipped into me during that time and helped me uncover a lot of areas within me which I had not seen myself till that day. And whatever they may be, I decided that every day is a new journey, every day is a new exploration, and every day is an opportunity to be seized. And it's that simple idea and thought which actually helped me be bold and confident on the days when I was down, on the days when I had the blues, on the days when I have woken up and thought that this is not meant for me, I'm probably not meant to do this, oh my God, will I ever be able to clear this exam? Will I ever be able to reach where I want to reach? And all kinds of questions and confusion that arises in your head. So as I kept reading about these things, I came across this book, this Japanese book, which talks about Ikigai. I'm sure all of you would have heard about Ikigai. It's one of my favorite concepts. But the same authors of Ikigai actually wrote a second book, which probably did not attract as much attention as the first one across the globe. It's called Ichigai. Now, Ichigai actually comes from these four Japanese phrases, which literally means one time, one meeting. Okay? Literally means one time, one meeting. But what it actually means is every time you meet somebody, every time you encounter a situation, every time you're presented with an opportunity, understand that it is a one-time happening. It's never going to happen again in your life. Again, this must be something which is very simple and which is age-old wisdom. But the very fact that one can remind oneself of this day in and day out in the form that Japanese culture does to them, in the form of Ichigai. It opens a new world of opportunities and a new sense of well-being to me and to everybody whom I have shared this with. So I thought today when I speak to you, exhorting you to be bold and confident in all situations that life might present you with, it's important and it might help to remember that phrase, Ichigai. Just come to think of it. As Heraclitus said, you cannot step into the same river twice because the waters are continuously flowing, right? You cannot come across the same meeting. You cannot come across the same opportunity more than once in your life. Every moment that you're being presented with is completely unique. And arguably, they're mutually exclusive of every other moment that you are going to have in your life. And as students, I think it's extremely important to understand this and to understand the importance and significance of every day, of every hour, every week, of every month in your life. Now, this is not about time management, don't mistake me. I'm only trying to highlight how a chance meeting with a person might just turn the tables in your favor. How an incident in your life might leave you completely changed and transformed forever. How an encounter with a difficult situation can actually unleash the best in you to hold you in good stead for a lifetime. It's important to realize that every moment in your life and every situation that you're put in your life is unique. All of us might meet tomorrow in a different situation. Many of us might have met yesterday in a different situation, but the conversation that we're having today is unique, and this is never going to happen again. For me, I have experienced this myself, and I'm glad to say that two of these transformative experiences that I've had in the context of, Ichigai is actually with CET alumni. So the first person I have to talk about is Dr. Babu Paul. He's no more with us today, but every moment I have spent with him, every moment I have spent talking to him or arguing with him or just sitting and listening to him has been so precious that I think it has influenced me more than anything else so far in my life. So what was that one moment or that one meeting which happened at one point of time, which made me into a different person? When I was a little kid, there was this merit award ceremony where I was supposed to go on stage and receive an award for my academic performance. And Dr. Baba Paul was the chief guest at that ceremony. And as luck would have it, he was the person, I was the person who was chosen to hand over a little lamp to him in order to light the inaugural lamp. And after I did that, and I took his blessings, and I took the present from him, the prize from him, I came down and sat and listened to his speech, completely awestruck as a starry-eyed little girl who was in LP school. And at that point of time, just that one moment or that one meeting with this great man seeded the dreams of becoming somebody like him, of becoming an IAS officer. And that truly was a transformative moment in my life, I think. And every time I keep thinking about it, I'm actually rendered speechless, because the amount of influence that little thought or that, rather brief experience or that rather brief encounter with this person has made to me in my life, it's in fact unbelievable. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about this Japanese concept. I'm sure all of you have had such moments in your life. They may be for good, they may be for bad. I'm not saying all of these moments are only positive in nature, but definitely understand that every moment is precious and every moment is going to be unique. And it has the power to transform you into a better person for tomorrow. And it's up to us. The onus is upon us to understand the significance of every moment and every meeting and every situation in our life and make the most out of it and carve a path for ourselves for the future to be at a place where we love to be. And that is more important, I think. Talking about what we love to be and where we love to be, the second person whom I mentioned, with whom I had a chance meeting, which transformed my life, is about another CET alumnus, who's currently my husband, Shabrinathan. I think we met at an official meeting for once. And there was, nothing which was unofficial about that meeting, let me confess. But soon after that meeting, there was something residual in the two of us, which made sure that we are where we are today. So it's just that first moment. It's probably that, the uniqueness and the significance of that one meeting, which actually unfurled itself into many more and presented us with something that we love every day of our lives. I'm just trying to highlight these examples from my life because the more I look into what makes me confident or what makes me happy, it's all about these people around us. And if you ask me what is the biggest asset in my life, it's definitely about the people I have had in my life and the people whom I have in my life currently and the people I'm going to have in my life tomorrow and the day after and the day after. And this is something which I keep cherishing day in and day out. And if you ask me what I really love about my profession, I think it's precisely that every day in this profession as an IAS officer has been so unique that not a single day has been like the day before. Every day presents me with unique challenges. Every day presents me with opportunities. Every day brings to me new people and new faces and new emotions. And it's a uniqueness and a variety of challenges and opportunities and problems that one faces that actually makes one's life worthwhile. I was just listening to a part of the talk delivered by Mr. Manoj. Sorry, I couldn't listen to the entire talk, but I did listen to him, talk about Ekla Cholore. And I completely agree with it that all of us have to walk our own paths in our own charted ways. But it's also important to ensure that we take along our people, because that is what has actually helped me stay bold, confident, and happy. And talking about the people that I have taken along with my life, I would be remiss if I do not mention the third, or rather the first CET alumnus in my life, who's my sister, my elder sister, Divya S Iyer. She is in Bangalore right now. She's working with TCS right now. And the first time I entered the CET campus was with her. And I would always remember that. It was a wonderful day. Again, one of those, one meeting, one time, the Ichigai moments in my life. When I first saw the CET campus, it was indeed mind-blowing to me at that point of time as a little girl. And the kind of warmth that the campus embraces everybody with is something that all of you would cherish for a lifetime, I'm sure, because I keep hearing stories about it from all these people around me that I mentioned. And I'm happy and glad that I have been able to be a part of this on this virtual platform with all of you. I think I'm probably overshooting my time, if I'm right. So I was given 10 minutes to speak, and probably I have spoken for 10 minutes or more, isn't it, Ganga?
No,
yeah. So I would like to, okay. I would like to wrap up my words and just leave you with the thought that every moment is unique and precious in your life, and the very fact that you have realized that helps you utilize the moments to the fullest. And as they say, live your todays to the fullest and your tomorrows will be definitely taken care of. And always be bold and stay confident. Life has a slew of opportunities and challenges for you, only left for you to uncover it. So get going and get acting. Thank you so much, and all the very best to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Hello everyone. I am Jagas from S3 Civil. Since we have got the time of such a resourceful person, we must maximum utilize this opportunity in a maximum way. So let's have an interactive session. So you can ask questions in the chat box. So ma'am, there's a question. Were there any hurdles in expressing opinion or making decision being a woman? Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Clear, ma'am?
Yes. Could you just repeat the question? Sorry. Were there any hurdles?
Were there any hurdles expressing opinion or making decision being a woman?
Okay. I don't think, just the fact that I am a woman has actually created any hurdles in making decisions or expressing my opinions in my life. But that is not to say that there were no challenges of sexism or any kind of gender discrimination or gender bias that I have faced in my life. I definitely have faced, gender discrimination, and to a certain amount, some amount of, abuse, which probably you won't recognize that it's an abuse at a very young age, because you think that that's the way the world is and that's the way society is. So, but apart from that, I would say, anybody has stopped me from expressing myself just because I'm a woman. Kerala, for that matter, I think does accept voices of women to a large extent when compared to other places. But for decision making, yes, I think being a woman, there is this image that we create about women and romanticize about women that, women are these multitaskers all the time, and these, supreme heroes all the time with 10 different arms at the same time, and, trying to do everything at all points of time. It's good to acknowledge that a lot of women are actually doing it all. But, I remember listening to Indra Nui at some point of time in one of her talks and one of her interviews, and she said, you cannot have it all. And I think I completely agree with that. You cannot have it all. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you actually have 10 arms. You still only have two, right? And it's important that it's not about time again. It is about how you prioritize things. And for me to be sitting at 6 o'clock in the evening or 6:30 in the evening and actually talking to you when I have a little son who is waiting for me at home, it might sound very simple, it might sound silly, but it does take a lot of churning within your mind to actually prioritize something else over your little son. So as a mother, it is a tough decision to make. But this is not about anybody else. It is not about somebody else accepting my decision. It is about what you are as a woman and the kind of priorities that you would have at different points of time in your life, and what the society expects out of you at all points of time in your life. Because the society doesn't really make space for anything less than the best just because you're a woman or because you have other things to do in life. So it's all about priorities, I would say. I'm sure men would have gone through, men would go through such situations in their lives as well. But, for all the responsibilities that are piled upon a woman by our society, women are forced to go through such decision-making situations much more frequently than a man would. That's what I would like to say.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, do you think community support can help you conquer heights?
Okay. Yes, definitely community support is required. That's what I mentioned in my talk also. Though all of us have to, walk by ourselves, it is important that we take the people along with us. We take our people along with us in our journey, because, for me in my life, it's my teachers, are the people who have influenced me a lot and who have guided me and who have always, given me a shoulder to cry on, or given me a helping hand to lift me up when I have been down. So I'm sure all of us would have had people. It's just that sometimes, we forget these people, or, we think that it just happened by coincidence or by chance. Now, it could be because of destiny. It could be because of chance. I'm not trying to get into that. But I think it's important to remember and be grateful for all the people and all the opportunities that you've had in your life. And definitely, as they say it, an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. I would say it takes a village to also help somebody succeed in their lives. So it is about everybody who has sacrificed some little bit for you, everybody who has prioritized you over somebody else, everybody who has given you time, everybody who has just, sat down and listened to you when you were down, everyone who has given you that pep talk in your life. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, any person's success is cumulative of the little things that a lot of people have actually done. So.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. There is another question. What are the skills that benefited you the most to reach in this position?
What are the skills?
Skills that benefited you to reach this how far?
Okay, interesting question. I think I would say the only skill that is probably required is to ensure that you keep learning all your life. You're never satisfied with what you have learned, because you think that there is still a lot more to learn. And as I said, every moment presents you with a unique opportunity to learn. Every person whom I meet, has something in them which I don't, which I might want to learn. And it's, life is all about learning for me. So, my job, my family, my experiences, everything gives me something to learn. And it's the curiosity and it's the openness and the willingness to learn, which is arguably the key skill that's required to have a fulfilling life.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That was a great session.
Hi, ma'am. Hello. Yes, Bhagat, you are audible.
Hello. Ma'am, one last question from my side, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello. What made you move to IAS from the career of a doctor?
As I mentioned, it was a lifelong, it was a childhood ambition. And I think my time in Christian Medical College, Vellore, which is a wonderful institution, it's world apart from anything else that one might have seen in terms of a medical college. So CMC gave me a number of experiences which were life-changing in itself. As I said, every patient that I met there, every doctor that I met there, every person that I met there actually taught me something and enabled me to make this decision that I really need to widen my horizon and, hop over and move on to the IAS. But having said that, I did it and I still do it with, all the love and all gratefulness for my MBBS days in Vellore, because, that's the place that actually taught me, the value of human beings. That's the place that taught me what is pain and what is grief, what is death and what is loss, and a lot of things which we keep taking for granted in our day-to-day lives. And that's the place that taught me how it's important and how significant it is to dedicate your life to public service. And I thought the best opportunity that I had in front of me to enable myself to immerse in public service was the IAS. As I said, it was a childhood dream as well. So, it all kind of fitted in the right place, and I decided to make the move. So, yeah, I love being a doctor and I love being an IAS officer. It's all about service to people at the end of the day. The tools that you use are different in both these spheres. That's the only difference.